I'm the Senior Director of Advocacy Campaigns with Common Sense. For those of you that don't know Common Sense, we're a nationwide nonprofit, and we work to prepare and protect kids in a digital and AI world. Really, really excited to have you all join us today, and we're really excited to be joined by our fearless leaders in the Senate and the Assembly. We're also deeply appreciative of Governor Hochul's leadership over the past few years in keeping kids safe online. So why are we here today? We're here because young people are spending more and more time online, on gaming apps, they're chatting with AI chatbots. But these same platforms are really prioritizing growth, and they're prioritizing engagement, and they're not prioritizing kids' well-being. There are several bills in Albany that are pending that would work to change that. We're going to highlight two in particular today. The first piece of legislation is the Protecting Kids from Unsafe AI Act. And this is sponsored by Senator Gonzalez and Assemblymember Bores. This would keep unsafe AI chatbots away from kids. The Stop Online Predators Act, or SOPA, is sponsored by Senator Gounardes, Assemblymember Rozic, and this would crack down on tech companies that are really using their sites to become hunting grounds for predators. Both of these bills send a clear message that kids' online safety needs to come first. Kids deserve freedom from online exploitation, and parents deserve freedom from the fear that their children are in danger when they're online. We need to pass this legislation this session. New York families need to know that Albany's on their side and that lawmakers here will get this done. Congress is not coming to rescue our kids anytime soon. The last time that Congress passed comprehensive online safety reforms for kids was over 2 decades ago. New York in the last couple of years has been moving in the opposite direction. New York has been a leader and has been setting a standard for the rest of the country, but there's still more work to do. We know that when any new toy or kids product hits the market, think about child seats, car seats, think about even pajamas, all these products have to meet rigorous safety standards. So why should gaming apps, why should social media platforms and AI be any different for kids? Our kids deserve to grow up in a digital world that puts their safety first. So with that, I'm excited to turn to our lineup of speakers. First, we're going to hear from our champion on AI safety in the Senate, Senator Kristen Gonzalez.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Hi, everyone. How are we feeling? When I say what do we want, you say safety, and then when I say when, you say now. What do we want?
Safety.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Safety.
When do we want it?
Now.
Exactly. I am so proud to be here today. My name is Kristen Gonzalez, and I'm the Senator for District 59 in Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan. And every single day, I hear this exact message from families in my district. Parents who are concerned about their kids' safety online. And with the rise of artificial intelligence and large language models, what we're seeing now more than ever are inherently unsafe tools being distributed across young people without guardrails, without regulation. And as a result, we're seeing this serious, harmful impacts. When we talk about safety, what we really mean is an economy and technology that puts people first. And doing that means putting our children, putting the most vulnerable amongst us first. My bill looks at how large language models are actually built with some of the most harmful elements for children whose brains are still developing. At this point, any minor can go online and start building an intimate relationship with a chatbot. They can start telling a chatbot their darkest fears, their secrets, and they can seek guidance and support. But what's on the other end isn't a person, isn't a community ready to support. It is a large language model that is built to simply, sycophantly build that relationship with them, and that really has proven that the advice and support, quote unquote, given can be contrary to what that child or student actually needs. We have documented cases of teens actually self-harming, teens who have committed suicide, like Adam Rain, with the help of large language models like ChatGPT. And for every documented case, there are thousands of young people who are now possibly going down that same path. Studies show that 72% of young people use large language models. A recent study also showed that 1 in 3 young people prefer an interaction with a chatbot versus an interaction with a human being. When we introduce this legislation, we're not introducing it because we simply think that, this is something that is reining in big tech, which we should do. What we're really calling out is this is an urgent need. That if we're going to have 72% of young people interact with large language models, that we have to pass the right safety mechanisms and guardrails. It is no mistake that some of the biggest platforms like Snapchat that have some of the youngest user bases were the first to rush out these tools. Because if you can create an intimate relationship with a young person, you are literally creating a customer for life. This is part of that business model. And what this bill says is that you should not prioritize your profit and your business model over the safety of young people. Our bill looks at how chatbots are engaging, the pronouns they're using, how they're presenting as people to young people. Our bill looks at, of course, whether or not they should be in the first place engaging in conversations that are sexually explicit or that promote issues of self-harm. And what we're also finding is, as a result of introducing this bill, thanks to the incredible work of Common Sense Media and the Attorney General's office, is that there is a broad base of support across New York State of everyday people who understand that if we are going to build a society that promotes innovation and technology, we also have to build a government that is ready to meet this moment, that is ready to be proactive, that is ready to be bold in passing legislation that puts people first, that challenges big tech, and that fundamentally shifts the power away from these large language models and into the hands of all of us. Because we are the ones who should be setting what those guardrails are and not companies. So I'm so proud to stand here with our elected colleagues. I'm proud to stand here with our large coalition, with the leadership of Common Sense Media. And of course, I could not be more proud as a young person myself to stand with other young people who are here today to talk to legislators and demand that our governor also get on board with this legislation. So with that, I'm going to turn it back, but I want to give a big round of applause to all of you for coming up here today. Not every young person here. This is our state capitol, and our state capitol should work for you. Your voices are needed now more than ever, so for everyone here, and I know we have a speaker coming up soon who is a young person as well, you are doing a really big and important thing. So thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us with this legislation. All right, good. And with that, I'll turn it back.
Thank you so much, Senator Gonzalez. Next, we're going to hear from Senator Andrew Gounardes, a leader of social media safety in the Senate.
Thank you, Liz. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You see, there's people on the other side of the stairs that are louder than us. Let's try this again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you, thank you. I'm State Senator Andrew Gounardes from Brooklyn, and I am the father of 3 young children. Children who have come into this world that is an entirely digital world today, different than any previous generation that has lived before us. Kids today, youth today, are exposed to more digital content, and their lives are increasingly lived on digital platforms than any time in human history. That's why 2 years ago we fought so hard with many of the coalition members behind us to put some of the first protections in the country on how social media companies can use algorithms for kids on their platforms. It's why so many of us fought so hard to limit the ability of cell phones to be a distraction in our kids' school classrooms. It's why we are here today in support of not only Senator Gonzalez, his chatbot regulation bill, but also the Stop Online Predators Act, because we know that far too many platforms today where kids are spending more and more and more and more of their time, whether it's gaming, socializing, or anything else, is harmful to them. And not because they're just spending their time online there, but because other people on those platforms are targeting those kids for exploitation. There was one researcher who's concluded that Roblox, the most popular gaming platform that exists today, is a cesspool for child predators. We should not sit by idly while platforms like that can continue to allow adult users to message kids that they don't know. We should not sit by and do nothing while a platform like that can allow adult users to give kids they don't know money on their platform to buy things on the in the games. We should not sit by idly and let adults on those platforms message kids, send them friend requests, look at their profile, find out where they live, what their favorite hockey team is, what their favorite color is, what their favorite ice cream flavor is. But that is what is happening today on these platforms. And so the Stop Online Predators Act is very simple. It does 4 things. Number 1, does not let adults message kids that they don't know, protecting kids' privacy. Number 2, it sets open chat features to be turned off by default for kids who are underage, so that they are not put in a position where someone that they don't know is trying to solicit them and message them. Number 3, it says that adult users cannot send requests to kids that they do not know on these platforms. And number 4, it requires approval of parents for financial transactions on these platforms. Because just like in days of old, where we were warned in the playground, don't go to the person who's offering you candy by the van, the modern day iteration of that is someone offering digital currency on a gaming platform to kids. It's the same exact thing. And so we're here to put these protections in place because we know that this is the best thing we can do for the well-being and safety of our kids, mine who are too young to even be on these platforms yet, thank God, but also all of the kids here behind us. And so we're thankful to Governor Hochul for adopting many of the elements of the Stop Online Predators Act in her Safe by Design proposal. It does not go far enough, and we are going to push with every fiber we have over the next couple of weeks during this budget process to make sure that we can leave Albany this year knowing that we've done everything we can to protect our kids. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Gounardes. Now we have a special treat. We're going to hear from Lily Slavin, who's a 6th grader at Hudson Lab Schools. Lily?
Hi, my name is Lily, and I'm from the 4th and 5th grade class at Hudson Lab School, down in Hastings-on-Hudson, New York City. The reason why I'm here is because of something that I've noticed is popping up a lot lately: technology. I don't think it's fair that children can be exposed to so many harmful things online. AI platforms like ChatGPT can mimic being a friend and whose opinions can be outdated. AI primarily draws feedback from what people online say or do, and these people can harm kids like me. These kids are then taught to believe something that can be just wrong and begin to think that this AI, created by adults, are their BFFs. They can begin to think that what they're doing or saying is okay, especially if it's not, and spend more time in the digital world than the real one. And other apps, especially gaming or social media, will let people say horrible stuff without so much as a warning. This can seriously affect young people's minds. If we can only start drinking alcohol at age 21, then how come there's no restrictions for the internet? They're just as dangerous, only it's hard to tell whether someone's depressed or addicted to it. This is why gaming and social media needs to be safer for kids. Smartphones and apps are an easy way for a few people to make money and for others' lives to be destroyed. Do we really want that for our kids, for our family, for our siblings? Kids should be able to have fun online without worrying about safety. Online websites were supposed to be an expressive, beautiful way to talk to others and let them know how you're feeling. But because these apps are unmonitored, people can get away with saying stuff that we all know is not okay. kids should be allowed to help, talk, and connect to others. But in order to do that, we have to stop being hurtful and pass a law to prevent trolls, hackers, and AI bots from hurting kids, which I hope is why you're all here today. This is why me and my classmates are here, why all these people are here. We believe in a better future.
Thanks so much, Lily. Okay, next we're going to hear from a big advocate of kids' online safety bills in the Assemblymember Phil Steck.
So I will try to be as quick as I can be here. One of the first bills passed in the Assembly this year required social media companies to abide by search warrants within 72 hours. And this came about because we had a constituent whose grandson was getting sold drugs through social media, and by the time the social media company responded to the search warrant to enable the police to get to that dealer, his grandson was dead. So we brought this legislation on along with Senator Hinchy in the Senate to require responses within 72 hours. It has passed the Assembly. I just want to make two comments. Some of the stuff you get into is extraordinary when you do these type of bills. So first of all, we had a provision that would require a social media company to have a 24-hour phone line in order to respond to law enforcement. That doesn't mean you have to have someone sitting by the phone. It just means you have to have a dedicated phone line that kicks over to a real human being who can respond to an urgent request. We had staff who felt that was unfair to the social media companies, and all it is a phone line. Secondly, we are encountering an argument in the Senate that this bill would do something somehow to help Donald Trump with his law enforcement objectives. Doesn't make any sense because this is a state law that is enforced by state law enforcement, like the New York State Police, not federal law enforcement. And as someone who's been practicing law for 40 years, including as a prosecutor, I don't see the sense behind that argument. So we need to complete the process. We need to get it passed in both houses and on to the governor for signature. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember. Next, we're going to hear from Assemblymember Alex Bores, who has been a real champion of AI safety in the Assembly.
Hello, I'm Assemblymember Alex Bores. I am so proud to be here with my colleagues, with Common Sense Media, with Mama, with Reset Tech. And can we get another round of applause for Lily? Now, if that is not a metaphor for what we're up against, I don't know what is. Because the social media companies, the AI companies, are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to get their way and to keep kids silenced. That's what we're seeing, and we need to be lifting up voices like that, of students, of parents, that what is at stake is absolutely existential. There is a lot that is complicated about AI and about chatbots. I know it. I have a master's degree in it. But there's a lot that is dead simple. And saying that kids' lives, that kids' safety is more important than social media companies' profits, than AI companies' profits, is dead simple. That is what we are here to do. That is what we are here to say. I was on CNBC recently and was asked, what's something that should be banned that isn't? And I said, well, selling a chatbot targeted at kids that is meant to create a sexual relationship, a romantic relationship. And they acted shocked. People are doing that? That's allowed? Why would they do that? And listen, that is a question we should get an answer to. We should be investigating. But even before that, we should be banning it. The bills we're here to talk about are really common sense. They are really straightforward. They are saying that kids deserve protection in this complicated day and age, and these are bills that we need to pass now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember. Next, we're going to hear from Mary Rohde. Mary's an educator and a parent to Riley Forever 15.
Hi, everybody. I'm so overwhelmed by the children here and the children up there, and I wish my child was here. My name's Mary Rohde. I'm a lifelong resident of the North Country, not upstate, Northern New York. I'm here today because I am the face of everyone's worst nightmare. I'm here carrying something no parent, teacher, human being should ever have to carry. My son Riley has been dead since 2021 because of online sexual extortion. In 2021, Riley didn't just experience sextortion, he invented the word. Riley was one of 4 spontaneous suicides of a teenage boy that year in America caused by online exploitation of a minor. 4. And here's the timeline that no one wants to say out loud. In 2021, Riley died. 4 known cases. Immediately, we told him and everyone, immediately we told Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, the law enforcement, everyone, and in 2024, Mark Zuckerberg was allowed to offer a petty apology to families like mine. Just last month, I watched him sit in front of a jury of his peers and all of us grieving parents and perjure himself under oath. And now there are 39 known Rileys. 39 children whose families are living the nightmare that I live every day. I would name them, but it would take too long. And that's the problem. Plainly, no state line, no loophole, no lack of federal legislation separates those of us living after our children were murdered. This harm doesn't care about borders and goes wherever a phone goes. Parents can't outrun this. Teachers can't out-teach this. Lawmakers can't out-legislate it one state at a time while trillion-dollar companies keep designing danger. On March 5th, I was in Washington when Energy and Commerce marked up 9 bills. This should be where urgency shows up, but again, it's process, paperwork, motion without meaning. None of these bills would have protected Riley. Not one would have stopped the predator who found him. Not one would force trillion-dollar companies to build guardrails kids deserve. And the toll of that failure, it lives in my body, my heart, and my soul, because every time I meet a new family, a family who didn't know, a family who trusted the platforms, a family who believed in safety by design, a family who used parental controls and did everything right, and I watched them realize that they were fooled by products built to addict, expose, and exploit. Now I'm part of the moment that their world breaks in half, and I know exactly what comes next because I'm already living it. I'm so proud to be a New Yorker and here to speak on this legislative package and why it matters, because these bills finally do what trillion-dollar companies refuse to do: protect children by design. SOPA, it sets the strongest privacy settings for minors by default. No stranger messaging, no public profiles, no dark patterns. The Kids Safe Phone Act forces devices and app stores to verify age, ending the "we didn't know they were a child" excuse. Protecting Kids from Unsafe AI Act stops advanced chatbots from delivering harmful content to minors. The 72-hour Search Warrant Act forces platforms to respond to law enforcement quickly because predators don't wait for corporate inboxes. This is what accountability looks like. It's what leadership looks like. This is what it looks like when lawmakers decide that children's lives matter more than corporate discomfort. I'm here because Riley can't be. I'm here because there's nothing more than protecting our children. I'm here because 5 years is already too long to wait. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary, for being here today and for telling your story and for telling Riley's story. Next, we're going to hear from Assemblymember Rozic, who's been an amazing advocate on social media safety for kids in the Assembly. Assemblymember.
Thank you, Liz. Thanks, everyone. So good morning. I want to say a big thank you to the parents, the kids, all of our advocates and partners who are here today. I want to say thank you to my government colleagues who are really taking on this charge. What we know is over the last few years, New York has been the leader in protecting kids online. I'm proud to have helped do a small piece of that in the Assembly through the Child Data Protection Act and the Safe for Kids Act. But our work is not over. One of the most urgent consumer protections and the challenges we face today is what is happening online to all of our kids. And here's the truth. The truth is technology is evolving way faster than any safeguards around it. It's actually evolving way faster than anything we can do about. But today we are here to say we are going to step up. New York is going to continue that fight to protect kids online. And that means not just on social media platforms, but also through gaming platforms, AI companions, and eliminating all those private chat features and digital spaces where our kids are not safe. That's why it's so important to be here today to continue that charge, to continue including SOPA and the Protecting Kids from AI Act in this year's state budget. We're taking practical, common sense steps, limiting how strangers can interact with minors on all of these platforms, and ensuring that online systems are designed in ways that actually protect kids and not encourage self-harm or simulate real companionship to vulnerable children. As chair of the Consumer Protection Committee, it is my biggest priority this year to have these safety measures in mind, to create these products with safety in mind, especially when kids are involved. So here I have to say, New York has already set the standard for other states in protecting kids online. We're going to continue that work in concert with Common Sense Media and so many of our partners so that we can really save kids' lives before it's too late. We don't want to see another Riley happening in the state of New York. Our kids deserve nothing less. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember. Next, we're going to hear from Nathan Toma, Associate Professor of Psychology at Weill Cornell. Nathan.
Hello, my name is Dr. Nathan Toma. I'm a Clinical Associate Professor of Psychology at Weill Cornell Medical College. I'm a practicing psychotherapist and the parent of a teenage boy. I am here representing over 1,000 mental health researchers and practitioners who have signed an open letter calling for government regulation to remove companion-like features from AI chatbots for anyone under 18. Chatbots have been unleashed on our society without sufficient attention to their effects, especially on children whose brains are still developing. This amounts to a society-wide, uncontrolled experiment on our children. The results have too often ended in tragedy, with cases of teen suicide and other grave harms in the context of enmeshed relationships with chatbots. But even if guardrails are shored up to reduce the most acutely disastrous outcomes, a deeper problem remains. When children are enticed to build a relationship with a human-seeming bot, their attachment system is activated. The human attachment system is the drive to build bonds through reciprocal pro-social relationships. Hundreds of studies have shown that interacting with other humans in face-to-face communication is how we develop empathy, self-reflection, emotion regulation, impulse control. The science is clear. Early attachment relationships are the foundation of cognitive, emotional, and relational development. However, chatbots are not created to foster healthy child development. They are built for engagement. They flatter, endlessly validate, and do whatever it takes to keep the user coming back, which is particularly alluring for young, approval-seeking minds. If children increasingly turn to frictionless, synthetic relationships, bots will not only displace time spent in real relationships, they will shape young people's preferences to increasingly turn to AI for momentary comfort. They will make kids less capable of connecting with real people and reduce the motivation to pursue meaningful goals, since all goals entail forming and navigating complicated interpersonal relationships. Increasingly turning to bots for friendship, romance, guidance, and mentorship will leave a generation of children disconnected from the ancient chain of passing on relational capabilities from generation to generation. If big tech used social media to hack attention, now they are going for something deeper. They are hacking the human attachment system, manipulating and derailing our children's development in the process. Half of teens already interact with AI companion chatbots regularly. Over 1/3 find the conversations with chatbots as satisfying or more satisfying than real conversations. Growing numbers of children already have what they themselves describe as AI girlfriends and boyfriends. Yet, a recent survey by the Future of Life Institute found that 73% of parents want children protected from manipulative AI. We were too slow to act on the harms of social media. We cannot make the same mistake with AI. That is why I urge New York lawmakers to vote for Senate Bill S-9051, the Protecting Kids from Unsafe AI Act. Our open letter calls for exactly this kind of regulation and is signed by past presidents from the American Psychological Association, the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, the Association for Psychological Science, the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, and many other leading organizations, as well as a multitude of practitioners who see these harms in their therapy rooms every day. No more acting like a person. No more trying to become a friend, a confidant, or therapist to our children. No more replacing humans with bots. The time to act to protect our children is now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Okay, we have our last speaker, Muna Heaven from MAMA, Mothers Against Media Addiction.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muna Heaven. I'm a child welfare attorney. I am the Harlem chapter leader for Mothers Against Media Addiction, and I'm also the mother to a teenage daughter. Well, as parents, we're trying our best every day to keep our children safe. It is proving to do that. It's proving to be much easier to do that physically than in the digital world. Why is that? Because of the spike in harms that lie in wait for our children when they go online. We know that tech companies have amped up their approach, that they use intentionally addictive design features, unsolicited notifications, and prompts to encourage compulsive behavior. We know that dangers lie with AI chatbots we know that there are harmful responses that encourage children to harm themselves. We know that on gaming platforms, strangers are allowed to interact with children, harassing them, exploiting them, and luring them into financial scams. In 2023, Roblox reported 13,000 cases of child exploitation. That's over 35 a day. Now, when the average teen spends over 9 hours on their phone, it is our business to care, and it is our business to do something about it. And I'm very happy that the New York State Legislature is moving forward in that direction. We have 2 bills before us, the Stop Online Predators Act and the Protecting Kids from Unsafe AI Act, because we know that the screen is now serving as a portal to an abyss of dangers. And parents, we are just not satisfied with the status quo. We are proud that we're in New York because New York is always ahead, taking action and serving as an example for the rest of the nation. As parents, we're asking for guardrails and accountability. We're asking for these 2 bills to be included in the budget, and we applaud Governor Hochul for already including aspects. We know that New York recognizes that our children's profiles are not on catalog for exploitation, that New York recognizes that the desire for our children to have clean, healthy fun on a gaming platform is not a license for abuse. New York recognizes that our children are worthy of protection. And finally, for parents, the safety of our children online is anything but a game. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muna. And thank you again to all of our speakers, to our families that are come up to Albany and are meeting with lawmakers today. We've already had meetings, we'll continue to have meetings today. And thank you again so much, Senator Gonzalez, for being an amazing champion for kids' AI safety